Good afternoon, guys. Should we have a look at that Benchmade Arvensis then, now when I have used it for a month or so? And I have both good things and bad things to tell about it. We can, and I must say the mosquitoes start coming now, but it's not that a lot of them, but I can feel them coming. Okay, should we have a look at the knife then? I'm going to take off my sheet. And as I have said before, there are people better to do reviews than me. Okay, here is the knife. And as you see, I have a homemade sheet for it. This sheet was from the start a sheet for an SS6, but I don't like that SS6 because the serration was very strange. So but I found it in a box at home and I tested it and it fit perfect. And here you have that also very good factory sheet, one of the best I have tested, I must say. Very good sheet. Total ambidexter, you only switch this out from side to side. Now it's made for a lefty. Okay, back to the knife. Like I said, there are both good things about this knife and bad things. Or it's not a lot of bad things, but one thing is, I don't think Benchmade have used their, I don't know what to say, because the handle is very, very slippery. And if you are used to bushcraft knife, I guess you feel this, think this handle is pretty comfortable. But if you are used to more survival knives, you don't gonna like it. So I put on, I test different kind of stuff, and I come up to that grip tape for stairs, elastic grip tape is the best for this knife. Maybe when they build it, because this is some kind of military tactical survival knife, maybe they think that this was what you're going to use with the knife. A kind of rubber glove. And now with that glove I have a super grip with that grip tape. But even without that grip tape, with the gloves I have a super grip. People have said that there are more stuff with this knife that they don't like. Many have complained about this. If you choke up like this, it's gonna hurt you. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't feel hurt, and if I have gloves I don't feel anything. And then I have heard that this part of the knife should be not very comfortable when you chop. I think mine is pretty soft. But on the other hand, I don't have pussy skins in my hand. So, should we test the knife a little bit then? And before I do that, I'm going to say that the steel is very good. I have not sharpened this one. When I got it out of the box, I sharpened the serration because those were not, they were sharp, but I was a little bit disappointed. But after that I have done nothing. And the steel is 154 cm, and that's a really good steel, Michael Travis said. I don't know. I don't know anything about steels. Should we do some testing? As you understand, this knife is pretty big. It's 6.5 inch, I think, around that, a little bit shorter. The blade is 6.5 inch. And then you understand the knife will be okay for chopping. But even if the knife is good for chopping, I prefer batooning. But we can try to make a spare of this. And you see, the mosquitoes, I don't need to hold here. I think it's fine to hold here. Pretty fast, and then you can, of course, trim it. So that the chop test worked out pretty well. But like I said, I still prefer turbo tool. So if I should cut off a branch or something, I'm gonna do like this. Fucking mosquitoes. I'm gonna do like this. Pretty hard wood. This wood was a lot more harder than the last one. But if I'm gonna take off some branches, I use that tool technique. Should we do some finer stuff then? Scraping and that kind of stuff. See how the blade will work. You see that the blade from the factory, and most of us want to use the blade as to start the fire steel. This blade from the factory was pretty sharp, but not sharp enough. And I must say, I was not very pleased to put an $187 knife in that machine, but I was pretty careful, and now I have done it. So now I can use a fire rod with it. Pretty good. And you must do that work here, not here, because here you have a false edge. And should we do some fine casts then with that knife? Everything going to be a little bit more difficult when you have a bigger knife. At least I think so. Here we have some fat wood. Should we scrape some off? And here I have a really good grip now at the finger shoulder. Very good quality fat wood. So that worked pretty well, even if that knife is pretty big. And one more thing we do out in the bush is scraping birch bark so it easily could take a flame. And that worked pretty well too with that. I must say I like that shoal here. Good to have on a big blade, I think. Worked perfect. Well, I don't know what more we should do. Like I said, I am not that review dude. Should we split something? Pretty hard. Take that bear spear I create and try to split right down on the serrations. Maybe I should re-undo this. And when we have done this, I think we're gonna, and we can do some very nice feather sticks with this. I think I'm gonna take off the bark. Serration are very similar to Gerber style serrations, and if we use the right hand, we're going to have some smaller ones finally. Lucky me, I am almost both-handed. Should we see if this is dry enough to put on fire? Don't really think so. Perfect. Very good knife. Have I talked about the bad things? I don't know. Gonna end this little Benchmade Arvensis review with to sum it up. Do you say so? Sum it up. Oh, my English is fantastic. The bad things about this knife is only one, maybe two things. Spine is not 90 degrees. Maybe it was built for another purpose, but the handle is far too slippery for a survival combat knife. And if the price has been a little bit cheaper, then I could have give this knife 5 of 5 stars. But because it is pretty expensive, and in crowns is very expensive, $187, what you say, convert to crowns is, you don't want to know how much money that is. So for that I say I give this knife, and I still, you must understand, I'm gonna use it, but because I really like it, but I must, for of 5 stars I give it 3.9, because it's, the handle is not very, they don't have used their brains a lot when they do that. Maybe I am wrong, maybe you should use gloves and that kind of stuff, but if you don't, it's very slippery. If you shop with it or do something with it, you can drop it. I have noticed one thing: if your hands are wet, and if I should not have this kind of grip, then you got a little bit better grip for some reason. I don't understand it, because I have field tested pretty much this couple of weeks back from now today. So, and you can find this knife in black or in this color, with serrations or without serrations. And the serrations are 40% of the blade, Gerber style serration, and they are the best. I have never bought this expensive knife if they don't have copy Gerber serrations, because I think Gerber was first with it. And you know, I want to talk about the sheath. I like this sheath because then I got some kind of, I have always loved Bowie knives, and now I got some cowboy feeling. But I must say that factory sheath is very good. Now I have talking maybe for 20 minutes. I must stop now. You get boring at me. That was all from me today. I hope this outdoor review was good enough for you to, so you can decide with yourself if you want to buy this knife or not. Out.